So there was a state of the game on Thursday, and following the state of the game we received some new information about the weapons and how they work in the Division 2. I said I'd break down the article, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. To stay up to date with all of the things the Division, make sure you subscribe and click that little bell notification. Hey guys, Recoil or Taylor here, and today I'm back with another Division 2 video. Let's get straight into it and talk about 5 things you might have missed within the Intelligence Annex that was released on Thursday following last week's state of the game. So first up, weapon recoil in the Division 2. In the Division 2, they've completely reworked weapon handling from scratch, and this is to deliver a more realistic experience and more interesting gameplay. The recoil system is all new, and every weapon will feel unique and behave in its own way. So we're not going to be able to compare the current weapon recoil patterns in the Division 1 with the Division 2, because it is going to be completely different. And I felt this as soon as I went hands-on at E3. It feels a lot more realistic, and the weapons do actually feel like they pack a punch. It's going to take a bit of skill and a bit of getting used to, but believe me, it's definitely going to be better than what we've got in the Division 1. Sticking with weapons, we actually have a new weapon category. In the current Division game, we have assault rifles, marksman rifles, submachine guns, shotguns, light machine guns, and pistols. But in the Division 2, we're going to have a new category called rifles. And this category is going to contain all semi-automatic and burst fire rifles. There's many reasons why they've decided to add this category, but the main one being balancing perks. In the Division, the many different rifles are grouped into 2 categories, assault rifles and marksman rifles. In the Division 2, we have decided to add a 3rd category for these weapons. This will allow us to create specific and relevant bonuses for semi-auto and burst fire rifles, as well as all other weapons. Our ambition with these changes is to have a great variety of equally viable weapons in the game, so that you'll have a wider range of weapons to choose from. So again, sticking on the topics of weapons, there was a little bit about the exotics coming in the Division 2. That being that exotics in the Division 2 are going to be a lot more distinguishable than the ones we have in the Division 1. Every visual element of the weapons will tell a bit about the story and the theme of the weapon, all connected to the lore. Each exotic weapon will have its place in the world. Sounds like they're definitely taking the right step with exotics, because in the Division 1, although the UI had a different colour, some of them just didn't stand out compared to the high-end weapons. So I've talked about weapon mods in a few previous videos, but I do just want to touch on it again here because I do feel like a lot of people have skipped over this or completely forgotten about it. But the weapon modding in the Division 2 is going to be completely different to what we currently have in the Division 1. So in the Division 2, mods will be unlocked and not looted. The reason for this change is that some mods were seen as must-have upgrades on all weapons, which led to the modding experience becoming less interesting. It also made reloading less important due to inflated magazine sizes, and weapon handling less dynamic because of the high handling numbers on mods. For the Division 2, we will change the mod system so that modding the weapon will be about customizing its feel and use to fit your playstyle, rather than about the mandatory upgrades. Like I've said, I have talked about this in previous videos, but it is a hell of a change, and a change that I have been screaming out for a very long time. I hated how cluttered my inventory was with weapon mods and the huge amount of different mods in the Division 1 and how we only used about 5 or 6 of them. So bringing some modding variety back to the table is exactly what we needed. It goes on to say, once a mod is unlocked, it'll always be unlocked and it can be used on as many weapons as you want simultaneously. However, not every mod will fit every weapon. Different weapons have different caliber, and of course the same goes for muzzle attachments and magazines. Now remember that these attachments will have negative and positive effects to your weapon. So for example, if you want more magazine size, it may take longer to reload. Again, I think this is great change. There's no point giving us attachments that are just going to boost every stat on the weapon. Like I just said, I personally think this is a great change and one that we've needed. Finally, no more grenade spam. In the Division, there are 6 different kinds of grenades available and everyone can use them, and it just gets really messy. You can throw off almost one of every grenade and just cause this massive cluster of different explosions. It's all janky and it's just not right at all. But in the Division 2, they've decided to go in a different direction regarding grenades, and it's a great direction. This time around, your grenades will be connected to your specialization, which aren't unlocked until level 30. During level 1 to 29, the concussion grenade will be the only one available to you, but at level 30 there will be 3 additional types of grenades, each tied to a specialization. So the flashbang grenade is tied to the sharpshooter, the incendiary grenade is tied to the demolitionist, and the frag grenade is tied to the survivalist. The reasoning behind that is the following. This makes sure that grenades can be powerful and useful without being such a large part of your arsenal, thereby invalidating a lot of other sources of damage. It also means that you'll have a much clearer idea of the capabilities of each player in PvP and PvE, depending on how they've chosen their specialization. Not only will it help them when facing enemies, it will also add more depth to the assembly of your own squad, based on what activity you'll be engaging with. Be it raids, missions, or PvP, different grenade types might be more viable than others. So that's pretty much it for the Weapons Intelligence Annex for the Division 2. Now, I tried to go over the main points, or the points that I think stood out the most. There wasn't too much to pick out though, unfortunately, and I'm hoping when we get more of these articles, there's going to be a lot more information we can look at. But guys, if you did enjoy this video or you found it helpful in any way whatsoever, please let me know by either leaving a like or by leaving a comment. And if you're new around here and want to stay up to date with all the things to Division 2, please make sure to subscribe. But as always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.
Back to West.